What if America's most famous spiritual movements held secrets that could change everything you thought you knew about faith? From mysterious disappearances to prophecies that seem eerily relevant today. Join me on a journey that will challenge your beliefs and leave you questioning what you thought you knew about the divine. Are you ready to uncover the shocking truth? Then let's dive in. First up, we have to talk about the Shakers. Picture this, a group of people so dedicated to their faith that they abandoned traditional family structures and material possessions, embracing a life of communal living and spiritual fervor. That was the Shakers, a religious sect that emerged in the 18th century. But what really sets them apart is their unique belief system centered around the idea that God could be understood through the harmonious movement of the universe. These individuals weren't just any ordinary spiritual seekers. They were led by Mother and Lee, a charismatic figure who claimed to have received a divine mission to establish a new way of life. Their core beliefs were radical, to say the least. They rejected formal clergy, embraced celibacy, and most surprisingly, believed that the second coming of Christ had already happened. This idea alone made them outcasts in a society deeply rooted in traditional Christian values. And then there's the whole communal property thing. This goes against the grain of American individualism, where owning property is like the ultimate symbol of freedom. But for the Shakers, it was all about sharing and caring for each other's needs within their close-knit communities. But why does such a seemingly utopian way of life end up shrouded in mystery? It's hard to say. The Shakers, despite their peaceful ways, faced persecution for their beliefs and practices. As the years went on, the group gradually declined. But here's the mind-boggling part. By the late 20th century, they had almost completely vanished, leaving behind only a handful of elderly members. Yet their legacy lives on in the form of crafts, furniture, and architecture, hinting at a way of life that once flourished but now remains an enigma. Did they perhaps unlock a dark spiritual door that shouldn't have been opened? Now let's shift our focus to the Branch Davidians. Imagine being part of a religious group whose beliefs become the focal point of a deadly standoff with federal authorities. That's exactly what happened to the Branch Davidians, a group with apocalyptic leanings. Let's rewind back to the 1990s when the group was led by the enigmatic David Koresh. He was quite the character, claiming to be the embodiment of the biblical figure John the Baptist and predicting imminent Armageddon. Talk about dramatic flair. Things took a dangerous turn when the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives raided their compound near Waco, Texas. This wasn't your average raid. It stemmed from allegations of illegal weapons possession, which turned out to be true. But tensions escalated, leading to a 51-day siege. The outcome was tragic. The compound was set ablaze, and over 80 Branch Davidians lost their lives. Now here's where things get intriguing. Was this really the end? Some believe that survivors of the Waco siege continue to live in hiding, waiting for the prophesied apocalypse. If this is true, it raises questions about the nature of their beliefs and the lengths they were willing to go to protect them. Even though the Branch Davidians may seem like an obscure footnote in American history, their story is a reminder of the potential dangers when religious fervor meets extremism. Now let's shift gears and talk about Christian Science. Imagine a world where prayer is the ultimate medicine and physical ailments are nothing more than illusions. Sounds far-fetched, right? Well, that's exactly what Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Science, taught. Her ideas revolved around the belief that true healing could only come from an understanding of the divine nature of humanity. This teaching was revolutionary. At a time when medicine was still viewed through the lens of humors and supernatural forces, Eddy dared to suggest that prayer alone could heal the sick. That's right. Forget pills and treatments. All you need is a good prayer. But wait, how did this movement gain so much traction? Well, Eddy's teachings offered an alternative path to healing, one that resonated with many who sought a more spiritual approach to their health. But this alternative path came with its fair share of controversy. Critics argued that her ideas were not only unrealistic but also harmful, especially when they led to the rejection of conventional medical treatment. Despite the ongoing debate, Christian Science continues to have followers who swear by the power of prayer and the importance of spiritual understanding and healing. So the real question here is, are these people onto something, or are they just misguided? You decide. Let's venture into the realm of UFO religions. Imagine a group of people who believe that extraterrestrials have a profound message for humanity, guiding them towards enlightenment or even offering salvation. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not as far-fetched as you might think. Groups like Raelism and Heaven's Gate, while small in number, have left an indelible mark on popular culture. Raelianism, founded by Claude Vorilhon, who later changed his name to Rael, teaches that extraterrestrial beings called Elohim visited Earth in the past and are responsible for creating humans. His followers, known as Raelian movement, believe that these extraterrestrials possess advanced knowledge and are the key to humanity's evolution. Then we have Heaven's Gate, a group led by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles, who claim to be receiving messages from aliens. Their core belief was that an imminent spaceship was waiting to take them away from a dying Earth. In 1997, 39 members of Heaven's Gate took their own lives believing it would allow them to board this mythical spaceship. So what's the connection between UFOs, aliens, and religion? It might seem like a leap to some, but for those deeply involved, it's a world that makes perfect sense, or does it? While these groups might be viewed as eccentric or even delusional, they raise interesting questions about humanity's fascination with extraterrestrial life and the lengths people will go to seek a higher purpose. As we wrap up this journey, let's think about what unites these mysterious spiritual movements. Charismatic leaders, devoted followers, and an element of enigma that fuels both their appeal and their obscurity. These groups dared to defy societal norms, embracing unconventional beliefs and practices that challenge the status quo. But their stories don't end in tragedy. They offer a glimpse into the human psyche, exploring the depths of faith, the allure of the unknown, and the complexities of religious fervor. Here's a question for you. Do you think these groups found something genuine in their beliefs, or did they stray too far from reality? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And before we part ways, let me give you a sneak peek of what's next on Facts Fear 86. Imagine a world where ancient civilizations left behind not just monuments, but also secret messages encoded in spiritual symbols. What if these symbols hold the key to understanding their beliefs, rituals, and interactions with the cosmos? Join me next time as we decode spiritual symbols that shaped civilizations. Will you be there? Now here's a dramatic music swell. Next, please stay tuned. Don't miss out. And here's an abrupt ending to keep you on the edge of your seat. Next, decoding spiritual symbols that shaped civilizations, including the enigmatic Dogon tribe and their celestial knowledge. What secrets do you think these symbols hold? Comment below. See you next time.